Today on Let's Automate It with Robin, Automation and AI for Non-Techies, what we're going to do is do a revisit of one of our more popular videos, and that is how to use n8n to post to Instagram. Now, in December 2024, Instagram changed how they work with their API and how we get access tokens and access credentials that we can load in n8n. So it's time for a revisit, and today we're going to dive into how to post to Instagram with n8n for 2025. Let's dive straight in. By the end of this video, you're going to know how to set that up and be able to post to Instagram using n8n. So what I've drawn up here is a full list of steps that you can use to follow along with me to be able to repeat this process. There are a lot of steps, but most of it is fairly easy to follow, and with a couple of little points to remember. This will be available within our community. Details on the community will be in the video description down below. Come and join us in the community. It's a great place where like-minded individuals are hanging out, helping each other and growing together. But let's get started with what we're here for today: how to create Instagram credentials for n8n in 2025. So we need to start by creating a Meta app. Let me give you an overview as we go through here quickly. We're going to create an app inside of Meta, Meta being the company that owns Instagram as well as Facebook. We're going to need to set up some permissions for that app. We're then going to need to add a user, a role to the Instagram account. We then need to hook up our Instagram account to the app we have created. Then I'm going to give you two methods to get an access token. Method 1 seldom works for me, so I'm going to show you method 2 that it always works for me, but maybe your setup is different. Once we've got our access tokens, we're going to extend the life of the access token so it doesn't run out in 1 hour. It actually hangs around for a month or so. And then we're going to head over to n8n and set up our credential. And finally, we will do some testing. So let's get started right at the beginning by getting started with creating an app for Meta. So we're going to head over to developers.facebook.com. And just because I was completely prepared, I have it set up for you here. Here it is. And if you haven't signed in before, you'll need to sign in, but I have signed in. So now that I've signed in, I have an option here called My Apps. I'm going to click into that. It's going to show me the apps I've already got set up. But for the sake of today, we're going to start from scratch. So we'll start here by clicking Create App. So this will load up a little screen. We're going to walk through here. We're going to create this app. We'll give this app a name. Now, you can give it any name you want, but you can't use the word Instagram or Facebook or Meta or anything along those lines. So we'll just call this n8n tutorial for IG. Let's see if it accepts IG. We may have an issue with IG, and I'll leave that email address like it is for now. Let's click next. Yeah, doesn't like IG because that stands for Instagram. So let's just call it n8n tut. I will leave it just at that, n8n tutorial. So we'll click next. Okay, now we're trying to connect to Instagram, and none of these use cases here will work with Instagram. So we want to scroll right to the bottom here and choose Other. So we'll select into that and click Next. As you can see, we're kind of just rolling with the options here. Definitely want to be using business. So select the business option, click. Let's try that again. Click on next. Now, here we can just go ahead and create app. It's going to give the option to connect a business portfolio. We don't need to worry about that just yet. So we'll just go ahead and create app. And that is the first section of this pretty much done. It's busy spinning up a Meta app for us. And in a moment, it's going to show us this. Let me come back to the notes and look what we've gone through. We have gone through these steps completely, and those are all completed. Our next step now is to configure these app permissions and get this started. So let's jump back into our dashboard here. Here we are in our n8n Tut app, and we want to choose Instagram. There used to be something called Instagram API. This was the old way of setting up credentials. No longer exists. We're now just going to be using this particular one. There is only one of these products available. So we'll just click Set Up. This will now install the Instagram product to the app that we have created. Remember, the goal of this is to grab credentials that we can use in n8n so we can programmatically post to n8n. All right, now the first thing we want to do here is actually come over and set up some app roles. So we're going to click into app roles. This is so we want to set up some permissions here. So we're going to click into roles. Let me just go back to the notes so I can anchor you here. So from the standard dashboard, choose Instagram and click setup. We've done that. Now next we'll see the Instagram API configuration dashboard. That's just what we've been looking at. And now we're going through these steps over here of adding a role, a tester role to our Instagram account so we can get the necessary permissions to be able to do this. So let's go over to app roles. We're going to click into roles. It's going to load up a little story. Now, you may or may not have something loaded up before. I've been working in the Meta dashboard for a while, but it doesn't matter. You can just click Add People. And now you want to come down here and click Instagram Tester. And now you want to look for the Instagram account, the username of the Instagram account that you want to post to. So in this case, I'm using a demo account. I think it's called demo.biz. I think I actually forget its name. Oh, there it is, biz.demo. That's my little demo account. So I'm going to add that. And now what it's done now is it's actually sent, it says pending here, it has sent a invite to this Instagram account for me to accept this invite as the Instagram tester role. Let me show you what I mean. We've come over here and here we are at number 16. This sends an invite to the Instagram account which you need to accept. So make sure that you're logged into your Instagram account already. I have done that. I'm logged into my Instagram account as the account that I want to post to programmatically. So coming back here, sorry, I'm clicking on the wrong things here. Let's try this again. Let's click into our notes here. So now we want to head over to this URL. It's instagram.com/accounts/manage access. If you've got access to these documentation via the communities, you'll just be able to click on this, which I'm going to do now. If you want to type it in, instagram.com/accounts/manage_access. If I click onto that now, it should take me straight in because I'm already loaded up in my Instagram account. I've got it open. And now I want to click over to tester invites. And here we can see that we're being invited to this app. So I'm going to accept that. And now I have access to this account. So we can come back over to our dashboard here. On the left-hand side, we're going to come down to Instagram, go back to our dashboard for setting up the API. And we click into that. And this will open up the dashboard. While that's opening, let's go back to our notes. So this has been completed. We're moving through this very speedily. Now we need to link our Instagram account to the new app. So we are going to return to the dashboard, which we've just done. Okay, and now we are going to look for this section called Generate Access Token, and we're going to check to see if our account is listed there because we've just added it. So here it is, Generate Access Tokens. I'm just going to expand this, and there we can see that our account is already connected. If it's not connected for some reason, you can click on here and go Add Account, and you'll be able to sign into your account, accept the permissions, and have this appear. But in my testing, I've seen a couple of other people do this in different ways, but this is the technique that has worked for me with n8n. So you can see that account is connected just because we went and accepted that Instagram tester role invite in our Instagram page. Okay. Now, one thing I want you to note is I'm mentioning here is your Instagram account must be what they call a professional account in order for it to be able to be handled programmatically. Now, when you go through these processes of connecting it, if it is not a professional account, you will be prompted and asked to switch it over. From what I can see, there's no difference between a personal account and a professional account. Just the professional account, we have a few more abilities, some greater scope to get things done. But once we've gone through this step, we will have our account showing on the app dashboard. And yes, we can confirm there it is. So let's go back to our instructions here. What's next? Now we need to get our access token. Now there's two methods, method 1 and method 2. Now method 1 has not worked for me, but we're going to go through it very briefly, but I'm going to focus on method 2 because it's worked for me quite well. But let's look at method 1. And that starts by clicking into the config dashboard to just where we've been. And we want to be able to click on the little button that says generate access token. So it's quite obvious. Here it is, generate access token. So I'm going to click on that. Let's see what happens. It's opening up my Instagram account. Now it should ask me for some permissions. It's wanting me to log into the correct Instagram account, which I'm busy doing. Okay, I'm not going to say this information, not now. Okay, here we go. I want permission for all of these things. So yes, I want this, allow. And now it's giving me an access token, which I can go and copy and put through here. I will delete these tokens afterwards. So please, if you feel the need to copy these and try and abuse my generosity here, go for it. They won't work. I will delete this app before we take this video live. But this is an access token that you can use. So copy this, but I'm going to move into method 2. And then these two methods will combine later in the video. And you can use either token in order to be able to try and set up your n8n. But this hasn't worked for me in the past. Whenever I try and put this token into n8n, I end up with an issue. Well, let's actually try that. Maybe today with this video, that won't be an issue. So let's go copy. I'm going to head back over to my n8n, and I'm going to go into this little workflow. And here I have a credential set up, but I'm going to go in here and let's go and just put in this credential I've created and just click save. And normally this hasn't been working for me. There, it's still looking red. It's red again. It doesn't work for me. This is the method that doesn't work, but I've seen it work for others. So absolutely, if you've got to this point, fantastic. You may want to follow along with me in the video even further though, because I do show you how to extend the life of this token. But with that being said, let's jump back now into our tutorial. We'll click done here and I'm going to show you method 2. Method 2 is slightly more complicated, but it gets the job done. So here's method 1. We just generated the access token. We went and accepted those permissions, and yeah, hopefully that worked for you. But let's look at access token method 2. So what we want to do here is we actually want to go up now into this tools menu up here and click into Graph API Explorer. It's going to load a new interface. We want to make sure we are in the correct app. So we're going to go into the app that we're working on here, n8n tutorial. And then we want to go and add permissions. And we want to come down to other. And I'm going to add in all the Instagram permissions. Now, you probably don't need all of these permissions. Depends on what you want to do with your Instagram. I'm adding them all here. Probably not the securest way to do things, but it means I don't have to come back and do it again. So that's all been added now. Fantastic. Okay, with all of that added, I am going to go and click now Generate Access Token. Now what happens here is I'm going to be asked to give permissions again, but this time instead of giving permissions via my Instagram page, it's actually going via my Facebook profile, and my Instagram accounts aren't connected to my Facebook profile. Perhaps this is why it's working better for me with this method than the earlier one. I want to opt into current Instagram accounts only, and I'm scrolling down, finding the Instagram account I'm after. Click continue, click save. I've now given it the permissions that it needs. And done. I've got it. And here I have an access token. So that is the method 2 that we've done. But now I want to extend the life of that token. So if you got this token working for you, it's method 1, or you're working with me on method 2, from here on, it's exactly the same. So we just want to go and copy this token. And we want to come to tools, and we're going to go to access token debugger. Open that up. Got this little field here. We're going to paste this in and we're going to debug it. Now, this is going to tell us what we can do with this token. So you can look here. We've got all the scopes. Those are the permissions loaded. It's going to expire in an hour. That's no good for anybody. So what we want to do is scroll down and extend this access token's life. Okay. And then we just want to copy this. Now, something I want to just warn you about, it often copies in this little debug text here, and then when we paste this into n8n, it won't work. But it looks like I've copied it correctly, but I'll show you what I mean in a moment. So I've copied this, and you can see this token will now last a couple of months, which is great. I will need to refresh it in future, but not for a while. Let's come back over to our token here, and let's see now. I'm just going to change this into expression and just want to make sure that word debug is not on the end. It's looking good. Let's go retry. And as you can see, suddenly I have a successful connection. It works for me every time. And what I'm using here for my credential is the Facebook Graph API. When you come and set up your credential for the first time inside of here, there's a couple of options. Let me save this and show you what I'm talking about. So I'm going to put this away. If we're going to come through to, we've saved that. Let's go into create a new credential. And we're going to search for Facebook because Facebook or Meta owns Facebook and Meta also owns Instagram. So in n8n, we're using the same node. So it's this Facebook Graph API. You've got two other options, but you want to choose Facebook Graph API, which is what we've done. And that's what I've got set up here. Let's go back to overview and we're going to test our Instagram credential through there. But let's go back to our notes. I want to anchor you back around our notes as we're going. So this was method 2. We went and looked at the tools menu and we went and added some permissions in the Graph API, and we granted those permissions access to our Facebook profile, and then we came back and we were able to get that token. And then we went and extended the life of the token by using the access token debugger. And then at the bottom of that page, we clicked on extend access token to give us an extra long life. Let me try that again. An extra long life token. So we've copied that token, we've put it into n8n, and we got a successful result. Fantastic, looking great. So now let's go and do a test. So I'm going to do a test for you, but I'm going to show you how you can test it as well. In fact, if you go back over to our channel, we have this video on how to post to Instagram with n8n. In this video, how to get the credential is no longer valid, but how to actually post to Instagram is still valid because there is a process with that, which I'll share with you briefly in a moment. But if you want it in more detail, have a look at the tail end of this video. It will show you how to do it. And also here, if you dive into this video, automate your social media posts with n8n, we go into it in more detail as well. So you've got 2 videos to work through at a slower pace if you want to see the steps of how we actually post to Instagram using n8n. But I'm going to give you an overview right now. So here we have a very, very brief workflow that's just going to test that. I've got a manual trigger node. I've pulled on a set node. And in the set node here, you are going to want to have an image URL. That is going to be the picture we post to Instagram. You want the caption to go with the picture, and then you're going to want this node ID. Now, what is this node ID? I'll show you right now. Node ID you're going to get by coming back to your over to the Facebook developer space. We're just going to navigate back into our app. We're going to go to My Apps. And I'm just looking for this n8n tutorial. We're going to click into that. I'm looking for the Instagram account ID. That is the number that we need. Where do we get that from? We get that from going into Instagram. We're going to go back into our API dashboard where we're setting things up. And right here under generate access token, we've got this number here. You're going to copy that number. You're going to come back over to your workflow. And in here, you can just pop that ID in. Now, before I go any further, I do want to want to show you that in these notes, which I stress again, you can grab inside of our community. I've got the full JSON. You just be able to copy this full JSON file right here and copy all of that and just Control C and then head back over to your n8n page, Control V, and it'll post this in. It'll even have this URL in here. I've put a sample URL here. It's just an image from our website. And I've just got a caption here, posted to Instagram by n8n. You could write anything you want in here. And here I've put in the node. You would pop in your Instagram account ID into that. Okay, I'm just going to run this quickly. And here we have our 2 Instagram nodes. Yes, I know they're labeled Facebook. That's just the icon because it's a meta node, and we're using Facebook for that with n8n. And there's 2 steps to this when you want to post to Instagram from n8n. The first step is you actually have to create an Instagram container. Once you have created an Instagram container, it's kind of a space on Instagram. The second node allows you to actually inject the image, the caption, whatever it is you want to put into that. Now, we're just focusing on images today. It is possible to do reels and videos and other such things as well, but we're keeping this simple. So I'm going to open this up. absolutely pause this video, go and grab these settings if you need it. But as I say, the workflow is there available for you if you come and join us in the community. Connect with the credentials, default host URL posting. We're going to the latest version of the API. I'm pulling in the node. There it is. I'm pulling that in right there. Your edge is going to be media. Your query parameters is very important. Must be image underscore URL. And then I've pulled in that image URL. I've done the same with the caption. I've pulled that in. If we hit test step now, we can see we get an ID number back. That means we've successfully created a container. Well done. Congratulations if you've got this far. Then we're going to go into this one here, and we've got the similar settings up here, except this time the edge is not just media, it's media underscore publish. It's a different endpoint. The creation ID is this ID we just got from the previous node. We drag and drop that in there, and then we're pulling in the exact same image URL and caption from the previous from the set node that we're using. If we go and test this now, we should get a successful result. And there we go. That tells us we've got a successful result. Let's go and confirm that by checking out our Instagram account. And I'm just going to reload this. This is the Instagram account. We should have a little picture of a robot with a heart. How cute is that? And here's our caption posted by n8n automation. And if we go back and look in our little set node here, we can see that that's the image URL of the little robot. And there was the caption we put in there, posted by n8n automation to Instagram. So hopefully that made it nice and simple for you. You followed along. You know how to do it now. It is different to what it was in 2024 and earlier, but now you know how to create Instagram credentials for n8n in 2025. Hope you enjoyed that. Good day, good night, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for spending some time with me. We publish videos every single Monday on our channel, and we have an active community. Come and join us then if you want to learn more practical tips that actually move the needle for yourself, for your own personal efficiency, and for your business. We'll see you there. Catch you later. Cheers.